So let's take a look at paper 2. Now, paper 2 aligns with objective number 3, basically to define tools needed to develop technology-based training programs for adult learners. Now, technological tools that you use to develop programs for adult learners, it depends on your technological proficiency, the course content, and also your learner demographic. And we know that there are a multitude of technological tools that are on offer. So it is important to know how to source for new tools and also how to assess these new tools within the adult learning context. So the purpose of this assignment is to encourage you to look for new technology tools, critically analyze the efficacy of the tool in the adult learning context, and finally to apply the tool within your context. All right, so let's take a look at the paper specifications, and I'm just going through the D2L course site for this. So as the paper specifies, you choose 2 technology tools for further study. So in this instance, we only need 2. For each tool, similar to paper 1, you will describe the tool and its purpose, the advantages of using the tool in an adult learning context or an adult education context, the disadvantages within the same context, and an example of how and when you could use the tool in your specific teaching context. Now, I've given a list of examples. This is just to get you thinking, but I would really encourage you to venture out beyond. Try something new, explore new technologies. Don't stay within things that you have already experienced in other courses. That's not pushing you in any way, that's not furthering your learning. You're staying with things you already know. So look for something new, something exciting, something challenging. Okay, now remember, I am not grading you on the technology tools you use or the type of strategy that you took for paper 1. I'm looking at how well you are assessing it within the adult learning context. How are you applying it? How are you supporting it with literature? And how are you justifying your choices and your decisions? As an educator, we all make choices. Our choices are fine as long as you can justify them. So you need to have a strong theoretical justification for whatever decision you make. And that's what I am trying to get you all to do through this course. So some examples are wikis, voiceover PowerPoints. Another one is Edpuzzle. If you want to go check it out, it's interesting. Augmented reality, VR, social media, so on and so forth. Your paper, same specifications, 5 to 8 pages long, APA formatting. Please, please pay attention to APA formatting. It is very important. So based on that, you have the grading rubrics, which is very similar to paper 1. So I also uploaded a template for this paper, and I'll show you where that is. So under paper 2, you have a sample for paper 2, and again, pretty much a bare bones, which you can then fill up. The header over here, please, the sample that I have uploaded is not consistent with APA. Some is, some isn't. So don't take this as the APA final, it's not. Okay, so let's assume I am going to be using a technology tool like these overview videos. Okay, so why would you opt to use overview videos as a technology choice, or why would you use voiceover PowerPoints in your course? Okay, so what are the advantages to it? How would you use it? So it could be a voiceover PowerPoint, could be a module introduction, it could be a task clarification, it could be a lecture, could be any number of things. When you use it in your course, up to you as an educator. What are the advantages? Well, it's a different way of presenting information, so it appeals to different learners. Some people just prefer to listen to the content, some would like to see the face of the instructor, so there you're also building instructor presence over there. So that's where my justification also is playing into it, right? So adult learners like to have a more social learning environment, and an online environment can be very isolating, but to see the instructor in or to hear the instructor's voice creates a sense of presence. Okay, what are the disadvantages? Well, when you're creating voiceover PowerPoints, you also need to make sure that you have a transcript available. You might want to have multiple offerings. Like for I have a transcript. I've now started uploading the audio version only, and then I also have a video. So it takes time. So that could be a disadvantage. So then how are you going to implement it in your course? So if these are the advantages and these are the disadvantages, taking all that into consideration, where and how do you leverage this technology within your course? Think through what you're doing. Think of it in very realistic terms of how am I going to use this, and then talk about it. Then the last thing is a link to Dropbox. Now, as I mentioned in the news item, this paper, I have extended the submission date to the 15th of April, so you have an extra week to work on it. If you have questions, please email me. And just as with paper 1, I will give you the option to redo it if you are not happy with the grade that you receive. And that's all there is for an overview of paper 2.